All right, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. We'll yield to General Counsel for motion.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, we would request a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing pending and threatened litigation, personnel, cyber, and real estate matters.
Can I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
All right, got a motion from Mr. Wimberly and second by,
Ms. Rice.
yes, ma'am. Mr. Tony, we voting to go into legal. Good morning.
That motion carries with Mr. Clark, Mr. Garrett, and Mayor Johnson out.
If everybody would, Mayor Johnson had a loss in the family. If we keep him and his family in our prayers. Thank you. 110. 2, 4, 6. All right, Madam Clerk, Attorney.
Mr. Mayor, now that we're back in session, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I apologize. Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, we request a motion to authorize you to execute the closed meeting affidavit.
Can I get a motion? Second. I got a motion from Ms. Francine Scott, second by Commissioner Don Clark. Let's vote.
That motion carries with Mr. Garrett and Mayor Johnson out.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Do we have any further action, Attorney?
Yes, sir, we have two motions we'd like you to consider. The first is we request a motion to authorize the mayor and the administrator to continue and renew security system coverage and pay the proposed premium.
I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Ms. Rice, and second by Ms. Scott. Let's vote by usual sign.
That motion, Mayor Johnson out.
Attorney?
We'd also request a motion to hire Dr. Yolanda Jackson as the compliance director at a salary of $125,000 per year, along with the standard benefits for the position.
Second.
Got a motion by Super 9, Ms. Scott, Francine Scott, and second by Ms. Rice. Let's vote. Welcome aboard, Dr. Jackson.
That motion carries with Commissioner Garrett and Mayor Johnson out.
All right.
That's all the motions.
Thank you, sir. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Public Service Committee commences.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Welcome to Public Services. Madam Chair, do we have any additions or deletions today?
No, ma'am.
Okay. With that being said, if my colleagues on the committee do not mind, I would like to consent items number 2, 3, 4, 5, and item number 12.
Number 12.
I got a motion. Do I have a motion and a second? Do I have a second? I'll second the motion.
I think Ms. Scott, she offered the second
Commissioner
for
Scott,
you.
second?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right, voting. Okay.
It's unanimous.
Madam Clerk, may we start from top to bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Item number 1, reconvene the discussion from the August 2024 regarding our current ordinance on alcohol licensing. A motion to approve directing the Planning and Development Department to provide data regarding alcohol licenses for off-premise consumption, specifically for package shops and liquor stores, and to research the separation distance requirement for off-premise alcohol consumption businesses.
There you are.
Good afternoon.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yeah. That, okay, we can do that, yes, ma'am. And then we'll go to you. All right. You want to go, you proceed?
Good afternoon. So this was put on the agenda by Commissioner Pulliam. I had started a couple years ago when this rolled out, and so we just have some information for you guys.
Thank you.
Handouts as well. So,
I'll get one.
all right, so Augusta, Georgia has 410 business licenses overall that's linked to alcohol. There's different types of alcohol applications. There's convenience stores, restaurants, lounges, grocery stores, liquor stores, event centers like, the Bell Auditorium, hotels. There's a ton of different alcohols. We also have, I know that you guys are going to want to know kind of a breakdown of these. So we took the time and actually broke it down by each district so you can see what kind of venues are in your area. We also have it down by super districts, so that way the commissioners can see how many they have overall. I know the questions really were the distance requirements between kind of the different locations, if that's what I'm understanding. And statewide, we do the same as the state, which is 100 yards from any church, 200 yards from any school, and 100 yards from any kind of treatment center. In our ordinance and the state, it's the same, that we do 500 yards apart from a liquor store to a liquor store, or we call it retail pet liquor, beer and wine. We do not, however, have an ordinance, and it's not one in the state as well, as far as the distances between convenience stores, grocery stores. There's not a fine line. There's not an actual ordinance for that part. We can put that because we can be stricter than the state. So we can actually put that in our ordinance, and we're actually doing our zoning ordinance, so we could incorporate that if the commission would like us to. Other than that, did we have any other questions? And I'm going to turn it over to our director as well.
Thank you. Good evening, Honorable Commission and Mayor Pro Tem. We're considering several different things right now. As Cecilia just mentioned about the proximity according to the state laws, we are also looking at a growth management plan. That's something that the government does not have here. Augusta does not have a growth management plan, which should have come from your comprehensive plan. That's one of the strategies that I'm looking to propose and working with the Planning and Development Department. Now, what will that do? That growth management plan will allow zoning, because right now that's the only tool that we have to ensure that we do a cluster of businesses that will interact with the vision of the community. Zoning will look at commercial land use, our industrial land use, mixed use, to ensure that we have the appropriate approximation of businesses. It restricts, it permits, and encourages the right type based on the community's visions and goals. So we're looking at that in the future. That's something that I will bring on as I continue working in the Planning and Development Department. The other thing I wanted to mention is the alcohol license ordinance, as it's staying, is separate from the zoning ordinance. So it's not being overhauled like the zoning ordinance. However, once that tool is adopted by this body, we will be looking at that, because it's very heavy to read, a lot of textual, but we want to make sure that what we're providing to the public is clear and that's useful. Again, we're looking at zoning to deal with the proximity, because I can go back to the map. What you see here, I wish that we had a screen that was big enough for you to see all 401 of these locations, and you see how it's concentrated in certain areas. what's not being projected here is we're only 6 months into 2026. So if you already have 410, Cecilia and I, we was talking and just trying to do some projections. She, based on historical data, thank you. Based on historical data, we probably won't have very many new ones. However, some to replace, some that's going to be, there will be some new, but as you can see, between 2023 and 2024, there was none, and most likely there was maybe some replacements instead of, businesses going out of businesses and then those coming in, just replacing those new ones. 2025, as you can see, we are, in 2026, we are almost, and we're just halfway into the year. We're almost there. So with that being said, just take into consideration that zoning is your tool that will deal with the proximity. If we do it right, and that's what we want to do, we're looking at the vision and the goal of the community and looking at your desires, taking into consideration our surrounding jurisdictions to make sure that we are moving in that direction. But the ultimate goal is what I would ask this body is to consider for the Planning and Development Department is to consider resources and time to get a growth management plan in place. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Pulliam is in the queue. Sir, item.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, and thank you, Planning, for your presentation. My reason for putting this back on the agenda, we started discussing this maybe about a year and a half or so ago, and then recently it came back up. Mayor Pro Tem had started talking about the licensing for alcohol licenses and off-premise consumption. And so I wanted to go back to revisit it to see where we were with what we were going to do moving forward with the ordinance. The discussion started when there was a certain store that all of a sudden got alcohol licenses, and then it made it so that in some of our areas, there was a whole row of places that offered off-premise alcohol. And so that's become problematic for a lot of the constituents, and I'm consistently receiving phone calls and emails in regards to that. So I'm glad that we are still working on it.
Yes.
And that we're going to continue to find a path forward. I'm really excited about what you mentioned regarding your growth management plan to see how that's going to play in. And just want to continue this discussion amongst myself and my colleagues so that we can make sure that certain areas are not over inundated with the off-premises alcohol.
Thank you so much for that. The other thing I wanted to just stay mindful is that when pharmacies and our Cracker Barrels and our, all our local stores began to be available to sell alcohol, I think it really did a job to a lot of communities. So now everyone can sell alcohol, and we have to make sure on our side, the planning side, that we are careful to keep those distances where they need to be.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you, and thank you for the presentation as well. I have nobody in the queue, nobody else is in the queue, so Madam Chair, may we proceed with item number 6?
We received this as information.
Oh, yes, ma'am, receive as information without objection.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
All right. Good afternoon again. Item number 6 is an alcohol license 26-22. This is an existing location, new ownership. Florence Henley is the applicant for Tiffany's for Show, requesting consumption on premise liquor, beer, wine, and Sunday sales to be used in connection with 1524 Gordon Highway, Augusta, Georgia 30906. This is in District 2, Super District 9. Planning and Development and the Sheriff's Office has recommended approval. Do we have any objectors?
My name is Florence Henley. My address is 4301 Northwest 7th Court, Plantation, Florida.
Okay. Do I have a motion? Got a motion and a second. Okay, Ms. Bonham, may we vote? I didn't know what. Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay.
It's unanimous.
Okay, thank you. Item number 7.
7.
All right, item number 7 is an alcohol number 26-31. This is a new location. A request by Gianluca Di Bardines for a nano distillery license to be used in connection with Gray's Distilling Company, LLC. This is located at 2227 North Leg Road, District 2, Super District 9. Planning and Development and the Sheriff's Office recommends approval. Do we have any objectors?
None noted.
Your home address.
My name is John Luca Di Baradinas. My address is 18 Coach Lamp Lane, Greenwich, Connecticut.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Question.
A question before we vote. Mayor Pro Tem?
Somebody so? For the applicant, where's 2227 North Lake Road? Is that the restaurant that's being fixed up right now?
No, sir. It's a warehouse in between Milledgeville Road and Gordon Highway. So there are 3 warehouses.
Okay, right next to traffic circle. All right. Well, thank you and good luck.
Okay. Ms. Bonner?
Yes,
Madam
ma'am.
Clerk, may we go ahead and vote? On
Yes,
the-
ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
It's unanimous.
Okay. Next item.
The next item is alcohol number 26-32. This is a new location, retail packaged beer and wine. Krinish Patel, applicant for Maasha LLC, doing prime market and lottery, to be used in connection with 2658 Barton Chapel Road, Suite A. This is in District 5, Super District 9. Planning and Development and the Sheriff's Office recommend approval. Do we have any objectors?
None noted.
My name is Krinesh Patel, 701 St. Andrews Drive, Augusta, Georgia, 30909. Thank you.
Second. Ms. Bonham, thank you.
It's unanimous.
Next one is alcohol number 26-33. This is an existing location, new ownership. Retail packaged beer and wine, Salmon Almond, applicant for IGI, doing business as Downtown Grocery Store LLC, to be used in connection with 2 Green Street, Augusta, Georgia, 30901. This is in District 1, Super District 9. Augusta Planning and Development and the Sheriff's Office recommend approval. Do we have any objectors?
My name is Salman Aman, and my house address is 205 Ellis Street, Augusta, Georgia, 30901.
Do I have a motion? Oh, okay, before we vote, I've got a question of Commissioner Johnson.
Do you already know my question?
Yes, sir, and it should be in your attachments on the last page. But yes, sir, we got him to sign the safety conditions agreement.
Are they being enforced along
From
East
what I
Boundary?
know, I've been in touch with the sheriff's office and our people that are assigned to us. They do check periodically, and I usually ask them if we've had any issues. But if anyone has any issues that they hear of, please let me know so I can get with them and get those taken care
Okay,
of.
all right, thank you.
Ready to vote,
Yes,
Madam
ma'am.
Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
It's unanimous.
Next.
All right, the next one is an alcohol number 26-34. This is a new location, full-service restaurant. Judy Mitchell is requesting consumption on-premise liquor, beer, and wine license with Sunday sales to be used in connection with 718 Broad Street, Augusta, Georgia, 30901. This is in District 1, Super District 9. Planning and Development and the Sheriff's Office recommend approval. Do we have any objectors? None noted.
Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Judy Mitchell, 4305 Creekview Drive, Augusta, Georgia, with Hester Majority 30815.
I have a motion and a second. Let's voting.
It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, too. Next item.
Item number 11, discussion regarding business operating hours and shutdown operations, requested by Commissioner Don Clark.
Commissioner Clark, you have the floor.
Yeah, apologies. So this particular one, I was waiting on some more, and this is my mistake. So it's not you all's mistake. I have to follow up with the team on this one. So if we can pull this one off, I'll put it back on at a later date.
Okay.
And just delete it, Madam Chair,
Yes,
without
ma'am.
objection.
Delete.
That work? Okay.
Thanks. And that concludes public services for the day. Thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'd like to call administrative services to order, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Bonner, do we have additions or deletions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I would like to know if it's agreeable with the committee, if we can consent, excuse me, items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Can I get a motion for that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Well, we'll be voting then.
Yes, ma'am. That motion carries with Mr. Garrett out.
Okay, I think that takes us just to item 6.
Yes, ma'am. Item number 6, discuss past methods and procedures of putting items on the agenda as well as commission addendum from staff.
Okay, well,
He's out.
just for a minute, I think she's going to get him.
Okay.
Number 6, you have the floor.
All right. I'm a day behind. The reason why I brought this up, Madam Administrator, is we used to have any time that anybody put anything on the agenda, there was always a little checkoff between the administrator, the finance, the attorney, and procurement to make sure that all the proper steps was followed, and then it went to the clerk. Have we changed that practice, or we actually moved up to the 21st century on it?
No, sir. The practice still goes on. It still has to go through the respective approval levels. However, it just does not reflect on the actual document. So once a department puts in an agenda item, that agenda item goes through the process of legal looking at it, if it's something in regards to legal, procurement, giving approvals, because if it went through a bid process or any procurement process. And then the last step, of course, some of it even goes to IT if necessary for discussion. But the last step, of course, is our clerk. But before it gets to the clerk, it has to go through administration, and we make sure everything is in place. And finance, I'm sorry, I forgot finance.
Okay, and so you're aware of anything that hits that agenda item, except for the addendums, which I'm fixing to get into discussion on next?
Yes, sir. Administration has to approve them if they go through the system.
Okay. Madam Chair Lady, can I speak to attorney?
Absolutely.
Attorney Plunkett, as far as the addendum, I think that's a process that's actually being misused, because that should only be handled for emergency services, grants, et cetera. But we're seeing a lot of things that's hitting the addendum on commission day for us, no different than staff, no different than the general public. How do we get back to that original purpose of that addendum? And what is your interpretation of addendum?
I think that the addendum process is useful when there's, say, grants or something that you've had 2 days' notice and has to be approved by the end of the week. Maybe there's some type of emergency something declaration. Basically, the fix of that is, because the purpose of it is to provide notice to the public. So they have a chance to hear, read the stuff, attend if they want to. So if it's not really an emergency, time-sensitive issue, the way to fix it is, one is to direct the department heads not to submit anything unless it's truly an emergency or last-minute issue. And I guess the other alternative is that y'all could vote not to add it to the agenda.
Okay. Or
So that would be your ultimate ability to say, why is this important? And if it's not time sensitive, I think y'all could tell them to go back through the committee cycle.
Yeah, just for it to be fair for the for us as well as staff and the citizens, because at least we do have a lot of people that watches these meetings, and they actually do the research with the backup documentation on any agenda item. But when they get caught off guard, they no different than we, as the commission, gets caught off guard. Well, we have to make a split-minute decision, and that's not fair to anybody that's behind this dais.
I may add, though, most of the time that something is coming from legal or the administrator, I'm not throwing all the department heads on the bus, but typically if it's the administration or legal, we usually confer in advance to discuss whether or not it's something of an urgent nature. And then we oftentimes ask Ms. Bonner about putting it on. So as far as the folks at this table, we try to be judicious of that and recognize the public nature of the debate. Sometimes I think it seems like there's more, but it's what I see mostly as urgency is grants.
Right.
And those are really sometimes very hard to the approval process and the time frame to accept it frequently are very short. And our system here is about 20 days from getting into the queue to go to committee, to go to commission. So sometimes it's just not able to do that. But y'all can reject them, or ask why it's an emergency. And I think just having the administrator discuss with the department heads to be very careful when they put these on as agenda items.
I believe with all the directors, either here in this chamber or actually watching everything on live, I believe they should have a clear understanding, because moving forward, the addendum is going to be exactly what it's used for, is for emergency or for grants. And it's not going to be a catch-all for just anything being placed on there. But Madam Administrator, I do appreciate that, as well as the clerk of commission, that we do still have that method in place. I thought it had went away when I came back on 3.5 years ago, but thank y'all. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. So I guess we can just receive this as information and without objection, thank you. And I believe that's the end of administrative services. So I'll adjourn that.
Good afternoon. I would like to call public safety to order. Ms. Bonner, do we have any addition or deletion? Good, this will be real quick. If it's okay with my committee, I would like to consent 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Motion to approve.
Get a second. Ms. Bonner?
Yes, ma'am.
We vote. That motion carries with Mr. Garrett out.
That concludes public safety.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Ms. Bonner, I'd like to call finance to order.
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any additions or deletions?
No, ma'am.
Unless there needs to be discussion on items 1, 2, and 4, I'd like to consent those items.
1, 2, and 4, okay.
So moved. Second.
Okay. And we're voting?
That motion carries with Mr. Wembley out.
All right, and that takes us to item number 3.
Item number 3, a motion to adopt validation resolution authorizing the commencement of validation proceedings for general obligation bonds, SPLOST 9.
Okay. All right, who will be leading that discussion? Ms. Maddie, okay. And legal counsel is in the queue as well? Oh, not in the queue, okay. All right. If you.
Or perhaps you ask your question and then we can
Oh,
determine.
no, I didn't have a question. I thought I thought legal counsel was in the queue. You're in the queue to say something, sir?
If Ms. Stevens doesn't have the answer, I'll try to come up with the answer.
Okay.
Any questions you may have regarding number 3?
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Johnson, are you okay if Ms. Stevens
Yes,
gives her
ma'am.
presentation
Yes.
before you ask your question?
Yeah, I yield to Ms. Stevens.
Okay, Ms. Stevens, you can proceed.
Oh, good afternoon. I actually don't have a presentation. I just came up because you pulled the item, or you had the item on the agenda. I will just explain what this item is.
Thank you.
So for the SPLOST package that was approved by voters on May 19th, that authorized us to issue up to $80 million, $80,900,000 in bonds, general obligation bonds. The first step in the bond process is this validation resolution, which is basically the commission declaring that the bond was approved by the voters. And then we will work through another process through the rest of the year with our bond counsel to prepare to issue those bonds, including coming back to the commission to decide which of the SPLOST projects needs to be included in the bond package. We're not ready to have that decision today, but we will have that discussion over the next couple of months as we work through the calendar for all of the SPLOST 9 projects.
Okay, thank you for that, Ms. Stevens. Commissioner Johnson?
Motion to approve.
Okay. I have a motion and a second, and we're voting.
She answered all my questions.
It's unanimous.
Okay, that concludes finance. Thank you.
All right, Madam Clerk, let's bring Engineering Services Committee to order. Are there any additions or deletions?
No, sir.
All right, let's go ahead and go through the agenda as it currently states. I'd like to bring the following items for consent. Items 1, 3, 4, and 8 for consent. 1, 3, 4, 7, and 8 for consent. For discussion, let's hold items 2, and for items 5 and 6, let's make those as companion items.
Okay.
Any questions or concerns with that, committee members? Can I hear a motion? Second? All right. Got a motion and a second, Madam Clerk. We're going to vote.
Unanimous.
Yes, ma'am. All right, let's go with the first one.
Okay, that would be item number 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Informational update, Augusta Utilities Department metering upgrade program.
All right, Director Bynes and team, looking forward to hearing this one.
Many times as I've done this, I'm not sure where to plug this in at. So.
As the team is preparing to get ready for this one, this is going to have a ton of benefits for our county. And looking forward to hearing a lot of the great specifics that the team has put in to benefit us, but more importantly, for the greater public to hear about a lot of these improvements that the team has put a great deal of cycles in place for. So, Director Bynes, I think you are good to go, sir.
Thank y'all for
Thank you,
while
Ms.
we get
Natasha.
that set up. Yes, thank you, Natasha. Appreciate that. Quick overview. This is where we are with the meter replacement program. I'm going to step through the slides that are up here. Copies are being distributed right now for everybody to flip along at home. I brought Mr. Dean Meyer, who's our AMI manager, in case there's very specific questions about the overall program. And we'll kind of step through everything and just see where we are. I'll give everybody just a minute to get their slides. So we're replacing all of the water meters in the city of Augusta with AMI, which is advanced metering infrastructure instead of, basically they're cellular instead of radio read. The whole industry has gone that direction, whereas usually you'd have a fixed base radio network. Now we're going to cellular, and we will have quasi real-time, pseudo real-time water readings coming off your water meter every day. And maybe. We can do it the old-fashioned way. There we go. Okay, why do we need to replace our meters? Kind of two things, the financial side and operational side. We have almost 75,000 meters. Our oldest in the system is about 90 years old. And these are mechanical meters with rotating parts. We have 27,000 roughly that are older than 20 years. With that, the mechanical parts tend to wear out. They don't always read accurately. I will say they tend to slow down over time. They never speed up. So meters don't tend to read wrong fast. What they do tend to do is read wrong slow. And so as a result, we have more lost water that we're not billing. And we also have what appears to be leakage in the system that's not real. Our meters read less as they age. And about 11,000 meters a month read zero consumption in any 1 month. So those are stuck meters, broken wires, issues along with the metering system. Y'all all get complaints about them. We all get the phone calls. They get reported, they get worked, and we figure out what's wrong, but it often messes with somebody's bill. And since we're reading 30-day intervals and billing on 30-day intervals, there's a delay into when somebody gets a big bill, particularly if their meter was having an issue during the summertime. They were watering their grass, doing something like that, filling a pool, and then over time they get this bill that is later than that billing period. It creates a lot of friction and anxiety with the customers. So this will speed that time frame up so that you'll be able to see your meter reads every day. Additionally, we read about 18,000 of our meters manually. So people walk the routes, they read the meters, they write them down or punch them into the handheld system, and they get uploaded that way. If we have that, we have people who have a very specific knowledge set about that route. And what happens is if they get sick or they retire, they leave, we have to train somebody else. And very often in Augusta, the meters may be in the front, the back, the side. There's a few places they're indoors. They're kind of everywhere. You need to know the route you're reading. And so this is inefficient. And so we're upgrading to the new cellular meters. Currently, we've installed about 4,000 of them. We are on track to install all the meters, which is about 70,000 meters over a 5-year period. It's about 15,000 meters a year. It's a $35 million project. It will basically take us about, the meters have a life cycle of about 20 years, which has been the way we've decided to lay out the program, but we will replace everything in a 5-year limit. So we're gonna have 15,000 meters a year, and we're doing most of these by request with in-house staff. So our staff requested to do the upgrades and replacements, and they didn't want to outsource this to contractors. So it's saving money for the citizens by us conducting this operation that way. Our AMI network, what you're looking at in the picture there is a cellular endpoint. That's basically a cell phone with a big battery on it that's attached to your water meter. If you see it on the lid of your water meter, you'll know what it is. It's connected with a wire to the meter itself. There's 2 pieces to this. This is the piece that uploads the data and stores data for 40 days at a time. So with that, it will upload 4 times a day, every 6 hours, 15-minute data? Hourly data. I knew it was something like that. Hourly data. So you'll be able to see how much water you're using on an hourly basis. Although we tend to peak earlier in the day because people get up and go to work earlier from the fort and the factories and everything. You can check your water usage during the day to see when your sprinklers are running, make sure you don't have a toilet leak, et cetera, in your house. This cellular provider has multiple different endpoints. They have AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile they can use for maximum reliability with the readings. The readings are automatic every month, and the system is able to upload data in case it misses a connection. We are going with ultrasonic water meters. These have no moving parts, so they're completely electronic. Everything you see in there, it's a piece of pipe with a couple of electrodes and some electronics built into that plastic housing. They have a guaranteed accuracy for 20 years. We additionally are purchasing an additional meter test bench that's specific for these ultrasonic meters. In the event that somebody has questions about the accuracy of their meter, we'll be able to test them. They measure about 4 times a second, and they have a 20-year warranty for failure, so that if we do have issues with them, we can warranty them. They're very easy to install when they have no orientation requirements. They can be installed pointing up, pointing down, laying flat in order to minimize some of the difficulty. We're also going the same with the commercial meters. Basically, they tend to have a shorter laying length, so the volts aren't as large. But they're still extremely accurate, and they're accurate of a wide range of flows. So we're going to replace up to 3-inch meters in-house. And that doesn't sound like a very big meter, but with all the assemblies and components to it, it can get quite heavy. So there you see a meter and an endpoint with an ERT is what we call it, which is the cellular endpoint. For this, again, it's a 5-year total. You're looking at the distribution of water meters in the city of Augusta. The 3-inch and smaller are going to be replaced by our staff. 4-inch and larger, especially if they had to be raised into that out-of-the-ground position, out of an old vault, will be done by contractors, and our engineering team is working on a standard set of details and plans so that we can have uniformity across our system to the maximum degree possible. Again, our internally replaced count is about 71,000 meters, and let's see, they're going to be done in routes. So our routes are smaller reading areas that are currently handled by existing people that walk the route or drive the route. And so we'll be doing contiguous areas of meters consistently, but we won't be working north to south or east to west or anything. We're going to be going to the areas that have the oldest meters and the areas that have the meters with the most problematic reads. And so by that, you'll see an area might get filled out. Your neighbor might get a cellular meter, you might not care. But nonetheless, you will have access to a customer portal if you want to log in and see what your water usage looks like. And so it's going to be very advantageous for that. The big pitch for customers is the leakage. And so if you have a break or a leak or something in your property, We'll be able to tell that. We'll be able to notify you before you get to the end of the month and end up with a large water bill. And so with that, we'll be able to see if the water's running at 2 or 3 in the morning. Either you're one of those people that water your grass at 2 or 3 in the morning, or you might have a toilet or a leak or something like that. And so we'll be able to notify you. You'll be able to get that remedied, save yourself time and money and frustration with your water bill. Some housekeeping components. We have a lot of broken equipment. Some of these items are legitimate, some are intentional, not legitimate. Some of these are accidental, some are intentional. Sorry, a little typo this morning. So we're developing a fee schedule for the 2027 budget that if we have multiple repeated breaks at a residence or a business, that we're going to return and ask them to pay for that. The meters and the ERTs themselves are around $270. The cost for us to roll a truck with people and equipment to do that replacement is about $1,000. Obviously, that's a huge expense. We're just trying to deter intentional destructive maintenance on those meters. Another question that's come up quite often is what's going to happen to our existing meter readers. They're going to convert to meter technicians. They're going to learn a new skill, and they're going to help us make sure that the endpoints are aligned, operating correctly. They're going to get trained up for better opportunities moving forward in the department. So we're going to be doing a public outreach component, and basically we're going to be notifying how many meters have been upgraded, where we should be working in the next 3 months, and just give everybody an overall feel for where the program is. It's just one of the real-time dashboards. We're going to be coupling it with our lead-safe outreach. So as y'all are very well aware from the work and the issues that happened in Flint, the state and federal governments have pushed to make sure that nobody has lead service lines. Y'all know we conduct annual lead testing at numerous locations around the city to verify that. Part of the metering program is going to be us doing an inspection of all of the service lines that touch the meters. And we're doing that to verify, 100% that all of the service lines are not lead. And that is a requirement of a federal rule that was promulgated last year that we have until next November to comply with. So we're using this program for 2 sides. You're going to see a lot of people in your front yard operating around your meter. They're all going to have utilities trucks. They're going to have vests on. They're going to have IDs. And they're out there specifically to investigate, to replace your meters, and make everything better in the water distribution system. So I've said a lot of stuff in a short period of time, but I know we're in a hurry today. And if y'all have any questions or concerns, please let me know.
All right. Thank you, Director Bynes and team. I know I have a lot of colleagues in the queue. Real quick, in addition to your community outreach portion of it, can we make sure that we connect with the administrators team to get this on the county website, and for Ms. Richardson to send out a message in conjunction with this?
We absolutely will be, and we'll be linked from the front page of the county website like we are now.
All right.
We'll be able to jump out to that.
All right, we're going to go for our Commissioner Francine Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll just piggyback on what you were saying about the outreach. I was wondering, how are we going to get it out to the constituents that we are on a new meter reading? Because I'm going to get some calls that with some of the ones that you have already transferred, that they're not getting their meter read.
Right.
So I just want to make sure we have a plan in place to inform everyone that we are changing over to
the AMI reads.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. We'll put it out there on the website. And additionally, we can do a bill insert to kind of let everybody know. It's kind of hit or miss as to whether everybody really reads those, but we'll be putting out that public information campaign and trying to push the administrator's office to let everybody know. From a practical standpoint, unless they really go and dig in, they should just continue to see their read come in. If they call and have questions, the real advantage of this is that the customer service representative will be able to answer questions about their water use that day. And so it'll be really beneficial from that standpoint if we say, oh, and we've had different ones and different commissioners that have called, and we were able to look and say, well, somebody didn't use 9,000 gallons that morning, it's programmed incorrectly.
Right.
And we've worked through those items and gotten those corrected.
Yeah. Well, and Commissioner Scott, you have anything else to add with that, ma'am? I think the biggest thing is, let's make sure we leverage all of our partners. We have a lot of media partners here. let's leverage it. Let's try to make sure that it's a big deal. It's an investment that the county is making towards improving its infrastructure, its services. So let's make sure that we leverage our media partners that are here in attendance. Sydney and others, I'm sure, would love to do a story or something on it. But I think the more we do it, the more opportunity we have to kind of catch folks that don't go on the website or social media and otherwise. So let's just try to expand that net as much as possible. Commissioner Guilfoyle.
Thank you. Mr. Bynes, as far as these units, this AMI, they self-contained. There's no moving parts. For example, air conditioning, you're going to have your capacitors, you're going to have your relays. Ants get into it. And if anybody ever opened up the meter cover, it's full of ants. So that's...
In this case, these are all self-contained and they're potted, so they're filled with epoxy.
Right.
So there's no way for them to get into it. It's a solid block of epoxy wrapped around a single electronic board. Nothing will be exposed. There'll be no issues. There's no reason for anybody to be messing with it. If there's an issue with it, they're generally just replaced entirely. There's no service components on the units at all.
All right. As far as, you know, it's got a 20-year shelf life, what you're saying warranty-wise. Battery, how's the battery charged?
The batteries on these are a lithium battery, typically with a supercapacitor. And so given the programmed number of reads we have, they're guaranteed to last over that time period. They're guaranteed 100%, I think, at 10 years, and then they're prorated beyond the 10-year period. And that is industry standard across the board right now.
So you would change out the battery at the life expectancy of the battery, or you just replace the whole unit?
If the unit becomes problematic, you would replace the whole unit.
Okay. You stated that if the homeowner, if you see a big demand on water use, such as a pipe bust where the house is flooding, you would contact the homeowner. How would you contact the homeowner?
So we're going to push forward as part of our outreach campaign to make sure everybody's got their appropriate contact information for emergency connections. So we've looked at this through the various, outreach programs we have through EMA in the past, and getting definitive contact information for everybody. People move around, they change phones, et cetera. With that, we are hoping to improve the quality of our database as people see value in having the appropriate email address, appropriate cell phone number put into the system so that we can make direct contact with you.
All right. Do you have the capability from the Wilds Road office or right here to shut water off on demand?
We did not buy the remote water shut off. I think we took bid on a couple of hundred of them, but we're not doing that at this point. So this particular case, they require extra battery. They require extra laying length in a box. You have to go to a larger box.
Right.
It ups the cost pretty substantially. And so at that time, we said, this is not appropriate at this time. We'll take a look at it later if there's a big demand for it.
I think I would use that on however you reach out to the citizens that has the meters there for contact information. I think I would explain that because a lot of houses flood. And y'all do have the capability of notifying them. But Wes, thank you for bringing this forth, bringing us up with this new product.
All right. I don't see any other folks in the queue. This was set up as a motion to, oh, no, it's not. It's we're accepting this as information and looking forward to seeing the benefits of it. Please work with the administrator and team to ensure we get this communication plan out. I think this is a big one. Colleagues, I challenge everybody, if you're doing your breakfasts or if we know about community meetings, let's try to get our utilities department in there so that they can help get this word out as well.
Certainly, thank y'all.
All right, any objections to receiving this as information? All right, let's go ahead and move to the next one, Madam Clerk.
Item 5 and 6. Item 5 is to authorize condemnation to acquire a portion of property in simple fee, 2607 Central Avenue, 1431 Montesana Avenue. Item number 6, are they going to be companion?
They're companion items, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 6 is to authorize condemnation to acquire temporary construction easement, 1307 Solomon Place.
Yes, ma'am. All right, Commissioner from the 4th, I know you had some questions on this one. I'll let you lead that, sir.
I looked at the these locations on the map, and I was trying to figure out on item number 5, why do we need to go into this property?
Okay, we're going to address those to the attorney. Dr. Malik, if you can come up as well, but Attorney Plunkett, you want to add some color to this first?
Basically, when
Why the
engineering gives out.
condemnation,
Pardon me?
Yeah, my question was about the condemnation. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So basically, when engineering's acquisition folks cannot reach a deal, they'll contact us to begin the condemnation process, which requires us to put this there. On the Montesano one, there's a traffic circle that's been installed, and there's some desire to put some off-street parking. If you looked at the map online, you saw there was like a triangular, almost open, and some of the backyard. And Mr. Smith did not want to sell the property. And so we need it for our project. And I'm not familiar with the Solomon property, but Dr. Malik may exactly what they're doing out there, but that's a temporary construction. From reading, from what we put is, I think it's just they weren't able to find the person to be able to get the temporary construction easement.
All right, Dr. Malik, you want to come up, sir?
Yes, sir.
You want to add something for the condemnation of 1307 Solomon and 1431 Montesano Avenue?
Yeah, so, council covered very well on the 5th, it's just alignment of the Monsanto at Central. It used to be the railroad trolley turnaround, so it's kind of very skewed intersection. The other one is part of our East Augusta drainage project. So it's a temporary easement, so it's basically, we need to get on the property to complete the improvement, and when the improvement is done, we will be out of that, so it's a temporary easement.
Oh, okay. I'm good.
You good to go?
Yeah.
All right. Can I hear a motion? Got a motion from the first. Hear a second. Second. All right. Motion and a second, Madam Clerk, to approve. These are companion items. So this is 5 and 6 is companion items. Ready to vote. Mayor Pro Tem seconded. Commissioner from the first made the initial motion.
It's unanimous.
All right. And that concludes engineering services.
Good meetings.
Great job. Great job, team. Great job.